No, dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fucking damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says justice on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo with James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Alex Carson. It means
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. As always, I'm here joined by my panel of co-hosts, my illustrious panel of co-hosts. To my right, we have Mr. Marathon himself, Mike, and then down below, the goon, Christian. Before we dive into the news, we want to say thank you for having us surpass 100 subscribers. We are currently sitting at 102 subs. Thank you all for those who have subscribed. We appreciate you all. All right, so let's kick it over to the person who was absent here last week. He's gonna show us some news, talk about some stuff. Christian, hit us off.
So first off, news-wise, coming out of New Japan Pro Wrestling, we had both nights of the final nights of the New Beginning tour, and some pretty good shit on the show. Even though the New Japan faithful did not like these shows at all. There was some good stuff on here, but some questionable decision making by New Japan. But it's very weird, so we'll see. But first off, for the first night of New Beginning in Sapporo, just the matches we're going to talk about here, the good ones. We had the best match on the show, which on night one, which was very, very good. It was actually the IWGP Women's title match between Mayu Iwatani and Mina Shirakawa. Mayu Iwatani is the champion. She's been the champion. She's the only woman contracted to Stardom post-March. So she's the only woman in Stardom that can't leave. And Mina has been one of the top girls, up-and-comers in Stardom. She's been great. She used to be Mariah May's tag partner in Club Venus before Mariah came over to AEW. And Mariah was learned a lot from Mina, and Mina is a very, very good wrestler. But Mayu retained against Mina in a great match. Later on in the night, we had some terrible fucking decision making from New Japan with the House of Torture shit, which I don't understand how this is still going. This is like Baron Corbin times fucking 5. And then it's the same interference every match. It's come to the point where, like, I will never talk about something that I have not seen or have not watched. I will never talk about anything negatively that I have not seen before. But it has come to the point over the past few months where I genuinely just do not watch the House of Torture matches because I know what's gonna happen. It's the same shit, the same gimmicky fucking cheating and stuff like that. It's the same thing. It's not like there's any new type of innovation in the spots it's Dick Togo's choking this guy out, the ref's distracted, the ref bum, here comes Sho, here comes Evil, here comes Dick Togo, here comes Yoshinobu Kanemaru. It's the same exact shit every time, and that's what we got here with Sho and El Desperado. El Desperado lost the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship by countout to Sho, and that means that at the anniversary show, we're not getting Naito versus El Desperado. We're getting Sho versus Naito. So we could have had Hiromu or Desperado versus Naito, but now we're getting Sho versus Naito, which listen, Sho is great when there's no bullshit interference fucking up his matches. But then later we had Evil versus Shota Umino, and the same shit happened. And here comes the same old fucking deal. Evil defeated Shota Umino to retain the Never Openweight Championship, and that was all she wrote. But then it came to the two WWE Forbidden Door double main event. This was literally WWE Forbidden Door. These last two matches, we had Matt Riddle versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, and a good quick match for the television title. Matt Riddle defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi for the New Japan television title, and he's now the television champion. Today he went on Ariel Helwani's podcast and admitted that he got popped for cocaine usage during his suspensions in WWE. So obviously he's cleaned up his act since then. He can't do that shit in Japan, or he'll be thrown, even for weed. You'll be thrown in jail for weed. It happened to Matt Sydal. If you don't know about the story about Matt Sydal, I don't think he had actual weed on him. He might have had cannabis oil or something of the sort on him, and he got thrown in jail. And there was a whole ordeal to try to get him out, and then he eventually got him out, and then he was scarred for life, and I would be too. But Matt Riddle is now the new television champion, and then we had the main event for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. We had Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, versus David Finlay. This was a pretty good match, and Nick Nemeth defeated David Finlay to win the global title, which I was shocked at because number one, Finlay just won the fucking thing at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's the leader of your Bullet Club, kind of losing his title. The first ever champion of that title loses it that quickly to a guy who's wrestling his first match in New Japan. That was pretty fucking weird. Nick, he has to get acclimated to the New Japan style because with that many years under his belt in the WWE style, you're gonna have to shake that off.
Oh yeah.
But he looked good. But that was the end of night one. A lot of puzzling decisions on that show, but night two was a lot better than night one. So first off, just to talk about, we had Chaos versus the United Empire. We had Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, Toriano, and Yoshihashi, and Kazuchika Okada versus Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, Great Khan, and Jeff Cobb, and Matt Riddle. This was the final match of Kazuchika Okada in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This was, it was nothing really to talk about. It was just a standard New Japan tag match, but Okada hit the Rainmaker on Callum Newman, pinned him, and that was all she wrote for Okada and his time in New Japan. Which, thinking about Okada and how he was the biggest star in New Japan for the past decade, him and Tanahashi, like the way he went out, like Ospreay got a bigger send off than Okada did. It's like I get why, because it was so abrupt and they couldn't plan it like how they did for Ospreay. But he didn't put anybody over on his way out. He didn't put over a Rising Star. That's not necessarily his fault. That's on the booking, and how abrupt the nature of his exit was. But that was it. After this, he ended up on commentary for the remainder of the matches for the night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then after this, we had another send-off match. We had the Guerrillas of Destiny, El Fantasmo, and Hikuleo versus the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, with a special guest referee, Jado, who, if you didn't know, managed all four guys in this match. He manages the Guerrillas of Destiny. But this was just a friendly match. It was a send-off match for Tama Tonga. It was actually a very, very good match. Hikuleo pinned Tama Tonga for the win. I loved the Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. They came out with their old music and their old face paint on. I thought that was really cool. But it went about 15 minutes, pretty good. Hikuleo pinned Tama. And speaking of Tama Tonga, it has been confirmed as we suspected. I was expecting this for about 2 years now, and it's finally happening. But Tama Tonga is on his way to WWE, and I completely agree with that decision. 2 years ago, I even said if he was to go to AEW or WWE, if I was him, I would go to WWE. He's obviously got friends in both places, but I think he would do a lot better for himself in WWE because he would probably get lost in the shuffle in AEW, and he just feels more suited for the WWE style. But Tama is leaving. He's going to WWE. No, he's not Samoan. He is Tongan. His name is Tama Tonga.
But
He's
he
from
should
the
join the
Isle.
bloodline.
He's from the Isle of Tonga. Yes, The Rock considers Haku, which is the adoptive father of Tama Tonga. So Haku's sons are Tangaloa and Hikaleo. He adopted Tama from his brother, I believe. Uh, and so it is still Haku's son. He's the adopted son of Haku. So uh, The Rock does consider Haku his uncle, and Lance Anoa'i went on record saying they do consider Tom a family. However, this is not a thing where he's a Samoan bloodline relative. He wasn't on that family tree. He's Tongan. He's not Samoan.
But
Because if he's not going, like, when he goes to WWE, he will not end up in the bloodline. He's going to end up feuding with AJ Styles. He's going to be back with Carl Anderson, who's his best friend, with Luke Gallows, two of the guys he started the Bullet Club with. He could even do stuff with Finn Balor, because Balor, Tama, and Carl Anderson, they were three of the four who started the Bullet Club. But yeah, um, that's the correct move. He's older. He could thrive there, and I just can't wait to see what he does there. But this was a great send off for Tama here. Very very good stuff. And then
he
next
should
up,
join the bloodline. He should join. Come on.
next up we had Taichi versus Shingo Takagi. This was an excellent match. This is the best match on the show. If you want to go watch this show, this is the This is the match you should go out of your way to watch. Shingo and Taichi. I mean, they're fucking just. I mean, they just fucking. These are two guys who are fucking killers. So that was great. Taichi ended up defeating Shingo, shockingly. And then we had the co-main event, which was a hair versus hair match between Yota Tsuji and Yuya Uemura. And you're gonna see this matchup a lot in the future of New Japan. These are the two up and coming guys. Yota Tsuji ended up defeating Yuya Uemura. So Yuya Uemura had to get his head shaved, which I was expecting, because Yuya never had long hair, but as of late, for like the last 2 years, he's been growing it out. I'm like, yeah, it's suspect. But after the match was the real kind of story, that if there's real heat in New Japan on him, but I doubt it. I mean, it's kind of a work thing, but it's kind of has layers of truth in there. But Yota Tsuji, after the match, went up to Okada on commentary, and he verbatim said to Okada, "I'm disappointed in you. This is how you choose to leave the company. I'm disappointed in you." And basically he told Okada, "Fuck you. This is how you left." Actually, no, he said, "This is how you are you." That's what he said. He said, "Are you satisfied with how you left? I expect better from you. I'm disappointed." So he basically was like a "fuck you. You didn't put any of us over. Hit the road." So that's what that was. So that's, even if Okada, I mean, obviously he's going to AEW, so he could still work New Japan. So if there's if Okada and Forbidden Door, obviously, because Okada would be on the AEW side of Forbidden Door now, or if he just wanted to go back and work a couple matches there every now and then, which Okada said he had, what she said, he's gone for good, which, yeah, right. Um, but there's a built-in story right there already with him and Yota Tsuji, which they have never wrestled. So besides Young Lion stuff, which that really doesn't count. But yeah, but then the main event was Naito versus Sonata. Naito obviously retained against Sonata. After the match, him and Okada shared a little moment in the ring, saying goodbye to each other. Okada basically gave the keys to Naito, even though Naito's knees are more out the door than fucking Okada is right now. But yeah, that was New Beginning. It was a so-so tour. New Japan Cup is coming up, and Sakura Genesis. We already have Nick Nemeth and Tanahashi confirmed for the Global Championship on that show. But the other news coming out of New Japan is that we have the full bracket for the New Japan Cup. And it's an interesting one, because this is the first year where we're not going to have a New Japan Cup without a Will Ospreay, without a Tama Tonga, without a Kazuchika Okada. Even, we didn't have it last year, but even without a Jay White. But yeah, this is, well, no, he was in the New Japan Cup last year. But yeah, this is the bracket for the New Japan Cup. We have Sonata getting a bye. Then we have Yoshihashi versus Kenta. Shota Umino versus Jack Perry. More on that. Toriano versus Yujiro Takahashi. TJP versus David Finlay. Tangaloa versus Great Khan. Tomohiro Ishii versus Chase Owens. And Hiroki Goto getting a bye. Evil getting a bye. Hikuleo versus Bolton Oleg. Shingo Takagi versus Yuya Uemura. Callum Newman versus Gabe Kidd. Yota Tsuji versus Jeff Cobb. El Phantasmo versus Mikey Nichols. Ren Narita versus Taichi. And Zack Sabre Jr. getting a bye. My early prediction for the winner is Yota Tsuji. I think they're going to really push him to the moon now that all these guys are gone. However, back to the Jack Perry Shota Umino match. They've been feuding. They've been teasing this feud. The scapegoat. Jack Perry is the only non-New Japan guy in this tournament. I expect him to go far. I expect him to beat Shota Umino. I don't expect him to get to the final, but maybe the semis. But Jack, it's going to be a real test for him. He's in there with big fucking boys. Because if he beats Shota, he's going to either have to wrestle well, he's gonna have to wrestle either Yano or Yujiro, so that's not really a challenge. That's actually a layup if he wins. Whoever wins between this Shota Umino Jack Perry
gonna
match,
punch him in the dick, and that's gonna be it.
No. So this, basically, the semis to get to the finals are probably gonna end up being Sonata and Jack Perry in a rematch. It's set up perfectly for Sonata and Jack Perry in a rematch from Forbidden Door. So. We'll see how that goes, but Jack Perry being in the tournament is very interesting.
Out of curiosity with this, like I know it's I know everything is within the storytelling. Is Jack Perry done with AEW, or is he just gonna like? Oh, okay, so he's on a.
This is basically a Young Lion excursion, but the other way around for Jack Perry.
Okay.
If he was out of AEW, you'd know it.
So like
he's still on the roster page. There's nothing about it. It's definitely them. It's because. That's the thing, too. AEW has sent guys over to work matches. They just sent Bryan to do the matches against Okada and Zack Sabre Jr., but they've never sent guys over for an extended period of time. New Japan has, and it's time for AEW to do the same. And they did, and AEW did. This is the second time they've done this, really. Well, third, kind of, because they had it. Well, fourth, actually, yeah. Well, I'm talking about tours, but this is going to be an extended period of time with Jack, because he's going to be there just exclusively working days, because obviously Yuta worked the best of the Super Juniors, Kingston worked the G1, the Gates of Agony, they worked the World Tag League, and Jack Perry's going to stay there for an extended period of time, and he's on the Windy City Riot card, but he's exclusively going to be on New Japan. So we'll see how this works out for him, but yeah.
So high odds are like Forbidden Door? He'll return. He'll be more back into the AEW fold. High odds by Forbidden Door, probably.
Maybe.
That's just like me just making a prediction.
I don't see if they're gonna have him stay there for a tournament. I don't think he's gonna be in the best of the Super Juniors with how much heavyweights he's wrestling. So if he ends up in the G1, I don't see him being at Forbidden Door.
Okay.
If he does end up in the G1, which if he doesn't end up in the best of the Super Juniors and he's going to stay there, he's going to end up in the G1. There's so many G1 vacancies this year with no Ospreay, no Tama, no Okada, a couple guys that might not even make the G1 this year. They're going to have to take talent from TNA. They're going to have to ask AEW for some guys. They're going to have to ask some indie guys. Nick Nemeth is obviously going to be in it. Matt Riddle's obviously going to be in it. So there's a lot of vacancies, and I think Jack Perry, a G1 tour for a guy as young as Jack Perry would be very valuable to him in the future of his career. But anyway, other sad news. We have 2 passings to report on, which are never fun. But first off, 2 days ago, we got the word of the passing of Ole Anderson, one of the original members of the Four Horsemen. Arn put something up about him. Everybody, Tony Schiavone. If you watch back in the day, you know the name. I mean, obviously, as young guys, we didn't really see much of him, obviously. But rest in peace to Ole Anderson. We also have today the sad news that Virgil, aka Soul Train Jones, passed away today at the age of 61, which was really sad because I loved his Instagram, even though he wasn't running it. But I loved him. He was so funny. I mean, he was a jokester.
Just need to show this pic of Comic-Con from like 10 years ago with me and Virgil.
Who just sets up a table anywhere.
Was that the table? Was that the Comic Con where it says Virgil, wrestling superstar, and nobody was at the table but him?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Because there's that meme of Virgil sitting there with no line. It says Virgil, wrestling superstar. But I mean, he took that in stride. I mean, I'll never forget the early days of AEW when Jericho used him for that promo package as Soul Train Jones because WWE owns the Virgil name, and he was talking about Olive Garden breadsticks. And then he showed up on the Jericho like birthday segment. I mean, he was so funny. He was one of the pioneers back in the day with Ted DiBiase. But rest in peace to Virgil. I know he's had health struggles lately, and I think that's what this was. But rest in peace to him. And just a lot of sad stuff coming out this week. But and I think that's it for the news.
No, we
right
have
now?
We have
Oh,
Forbidden Door in
Yes.
is reportedly coming to Arthur Ashe Stadium in
Please.
June. If so facto, I will try my best to be there. But
My ass is
Me
gonna
and
be
Christian
there.
will be there.
Yeah, because this was the one show where I was contemplating going out of state for, ever going out of state for. This is the only
we
show
were
I've
all
ever thought of doing
predicting.
it.
I think
I was
what was it at
I was at fucking Chipotle when this notification hit. That was peak serenity.
I think what is it when we were at Grand Slam this past October, right? It was October?
September.
September.
Tony Khan had came out, I think before Rampage, told the crowd like, how would you guys feel about a pay-per-view being here? And I think me, Mike, and Nick all immediately knew Forbidden Door. That's
I didn't because I was a fucking little dummy man.
we were all like,
I couldn't believe it.
because like there's no other like besides turning Grand Slam into its own pay-per-view.
That's what I thought it was gonna. I thought that's what I thought it was gonna be. Grand Slam becoming its own pay-per-view, which it actually probably is going to, but they're just gonna move it. But the thing was about that once they announced World's End, I'm like, oh, okay, they're just not gonna do Arthur Ashe for the pay-per-view now. I think they just changed their mind. But I stopped thinking about it after that. But with this being Forbidden Door, I've never been more excited because this is the one show I wanted. Like now I don't have to travel out of state to go see this show. This is the one show I wanted. This is like my pay-per-view. Like this is it.
This is their second test of a pay-per-view in the States. Go do what you gotta do, Mike.
Okay, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
You can just get up and leave. I'm not your fucking
It's happened
parent.
before.
Actually, did it happen before?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
During a stream?
Oh yeah. Actually, I don't know. I'm fucking around. I don't know.
No. I think you're referring to like. No. It happened during Dynamite that one time. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited for the fucking Forbidden Door. Gonna be great. But we got a motherfucking Dynamite.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. We have one more piece of news I forgot to report on. There was a miracle on ice, not on ice, on Collision. On Collision, we witnessed a fucking miracle.
Let's say me not hurting anyone.
For the first time since 2022, Malachi Black had a singles match. I couldn't fucking believe my eyes. I was like, holy shit. What the fuck?
Also, another bit of news, Sean Spears is in NXT.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sean Spears came back to NXT. I was watching NXT last night, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, is that shit? Literally, me and my mom is sitting there, like we're both on our phones. NXT's going on. I see Rich Holland get attacked. I see the light, and I see the guy. Because I thought it was because the people who thought it was gonna be Julia and Okada because it was the Japanese.
The Julia one was the most credible. Okada,
it was not most credible because she's not leaving fucking Japan for another year.
Well, at that time, at the time of
It wasn't at that time. We knew that at that time.
I thought like
Oh, we knew that. No, she confirmed it last week, but we knew that she wasn't going anywhere until later in the year.
Okay, because I always saw like the credibility of Julia was before like the Rosie stuff.
That shit didn't even make any fucking sense to be Julia, because Julia is not a heel, and Julia doesn't talk like that, and Julia doesn't fucking speak English.
Just Google Translate. Okay, I'm gonna type this out and send it off.
Shit does not speak English, and that's why people. I'm like, Okada don't fucking speak English, bro.
Well, yeah, like the Okada ones, I immediately debunked because we all knew Okada.
The person I thought it was going to be was was fucking Boa and Dante Chen, who are two guys in NXT who they've been teasing being heels with face paint, and they're both Chinese. They're not Japanese, which that was the only thing that was throwing me off. But they're both Chinese guys. So I thought it was going to be Dante Chen. But then I see the fucking guy with the hoods. I can notice because he's the only fucking guy in wrestling who wears a hood like this.
Yeah.
With no jacket. I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, is that Sean Spears? And then my mom's like, oh my god.
The thing that we should.
He hit him with the chair. And I just want to emphasize this. This was the same exact presentation as AEW Sean Spears. They called him Sean Spears on commentary, and they said it's not Ty Dillinger. I mean, because obviously he's the most popular he's ever been in his career was when he was in NXT as Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10. But they're going with Sean Spears. They're letting him keep his name. They're letting him keep his AEW gimmick, his look, the chairman gimmick. So what this immediately said to me was that this was another message to the AEW roster. This is the same shit that happened with Cody. This is the same shit that happened with Jade. This is the same shit that happened with CM Punk. They're saying, if you want to come in to WWE, we will not change who you are from AEW. Only if you want to. Because I got news for you. Cody Rhodes was AEW Cody Rhodes. Jade Cargill is AEW Jade Cargill. CM Punk, obviously, he was there, and so was Cody, but Cody's was very different. But CM Punk, this is somewhat AEW CM Punk. Brian Pillman Jr. is now Lexus King. He wanted to do something new. He wanted to change. They didn't force him to. He wanted to. Obviously, evidently, Sean Spears did not. And they're going to let them do that. So say you're a Ricky Starks. Say you're a fucking Powerhouse Hobbs or Wardlow or somebody like just throwing names out there. If you want to keep your gimmick from AEW, you can. And that was the message here. That's three. Three is a pattern at this point. Not a fluke.
Absolutely. Like I get it that like, hey, this is a sign. I hope things work out for Sean Spears.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now why
Mike out here texting us on like commenting while he's on the goddamn shitter.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now what this is. Sean Spears is not there to win the NXT title. He's not there to be the top guy in NXT. He's there to be a veteran presence for the younger talent to work with and to help get over. And when he's done and when he's retired, he will become a coach in the Performance Center. That is why he is there. That's why some of the older guys in NXT are there, like Dijak. Well, he's not down there anymore, but that's why they brought Apollo Crews down for a little bit. That's why Gallows and Anderson are down there right now. They're there to help the young guys. That's it. And Sean Spears I'm glad he's back there. It's the best place for him. He has something to do. It's the place where he was the most over in his entire career. So good on him. It's a great move.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a Cody guy. So when this guy shows up after the WrestleMania main event and smash him in the fucking skull
and
then the chair.
Fucking Hardway like cuts the back of his head.
Yeah, with a fucking gimmicked chair.
Crazy. All right.
Anyway, we got a Dynamite.
Yeah, we kick off tonight's Dynamite with Blackpool Combat Club versus FTR and Eddie Kingston. This was really fucking good.
You fucking just completely completely
Let
just
me.
skipped over the first segment of this show. First off, we had Hangman Adam Page come out.
I didn't have my notes in front of me.
My notes.
I also didn't take many notes.
Yeah,
Mike normally is here to lead us.
We had Hangman Adam Page come out on a crutch. And he's hobbling his ass down to the ring, and he's talking, and he's like, first off, I didn't think, like, when I said the main event of Revolution should be 1-on-1, I think I had the wrong competitors in mind. But yep, I can't compete at AEW Revolution. After this, Swerve comes out, he starts clowning on this. He's clowning on him, but it's respectful. He's saying he respects him. He's saying, but as Swerve's talking, Joe comes out and he says, "Listen, fuck both of y'all." That's basically what he says. Like, listen, I don't care who's fighting at Revolution. I'm gonna beat you. And the way they position the camera here, I'm like, all right, yeah, this guy's fine. Because there was reports, because obviously after the show, they did the angle where they were trying to like make you believe that Hangman got hurt in the match, but obviously we knew it was an angle the day after. But there was a report saying that Hangman might have needed to miss Revolution due to a personal reason. But I doubted that with how much of a lead-in and how long they've known this was going to be the main event for. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck I don't know. I don't believe that. But everything turned out. As Swerve is yelling at Joe, Hangman strikes Swerve in the back of the head with the crutch and knocks Swerve out. And he's yelling at him. He's like, and he's fucking yelling at him. And this brings me to what I believe is going to happen in the match. Obviously, it's not time for Joe to drop the title. It's too early. Swerve should not be winning the title yet. I think we're a pay-per-view or two away from that. However, this is why Hangman is in the match. Hangman Adam Page is in the match to take the fall or the submission. Most likely submission. What I think the finish is going to be here, or what the story is going to be here. What is the story right now? Hangman is so fucking obsessed with Swerve not winning the title. He's obsessed with making sure Swerve doesn't become the champion.
Yeah.
So, in their match, I believe that Hangman at the end is going to do everything in his power to make sure Swerve does not win. If somehow Swerve cannot get to Joe or Hangman, whilst Hangman is in the coquina clutch from Joe, I could see Hangman staring at Swerve, laughing, and voluntarily tapping out. Not because he wanted to lose, just because he wanted Swerve to lose. And he just had to make sure Swerve didn't win that fucking title. Because he cares a lot more about Swerve not winning than him winning the title again. That's what I believe to be going on here. And Hangman is, I mean, obviously Hangman is now the heel. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the fucking obsessed son of a bitch, making sure this guy comes nowhere close to that title.
Well, look who decided to come back.
Welcome back. See, I do this shit after the show. See, I can hold it like a big boy.
I do it before the show.
And he's muted too. I mean, he's talking to thin air right now.
Yeah, he's talking to thin air. He's not even talking to us.
Hello, how is everybody doing? Fucking, that was pretty bad.
Shit, man, Jones over here.
Guys didn't beat the fucking muting allegations. Imagine. But anyway,
crazy.
After this, we had the EVPs pull up. They're looking for Sting. I thought Nick had a pimp cane in his hand, but it turns out it was a bat. And these motherfuckers, they got their own cameraman. And they're looking for Sting. And
it's not Cutler. It's not Cutler.
Well, no, because Cutler's now the fucking journalist.
Oh, that's right. Hold on, wait. That reminds me. Cutler did tweet something out. Let me find that real quick. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in the pile of fucking news that
I just need to say, I step aside one time, and Zach can't even get the first thing on the show right.
Kiss my ass.
Cutler said sources are having trouble locating Sting at tonight's Dynamite. One source has stated, "How unprofessional." we can't find him. So that's what he said. But anyway, after this, we had FTR and Eddie Kingston versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Bryan Danielson.
This was good stuff.
This was a very, very good match. I mean, as expected, this was a tease. This was just a hype for the 2 matches at Revolution with the tag match between FTR and the Blackpool Combat Club and Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston. This was very, very good. I loved when Kingston was in there facing off with Bryan, but the finish came from Bryan putting out Eddie Kingston, making him pass out in a triangle choke, which that was unexpected. I didn't expect to be anybody who was involved in each other's matches to pin or submit it to somebody, but that's what happened here. So they're telling the story with Bryan fucking visually submitting, even though he didn't tap, Eddie. So, I mean, this isn't WWE where it's like 50-50 booking and usually like that. But I don't believe Eddie Kingston's going to be losing the belts just yet. But hey, it gives you credence. Like, hey, maybe Bryan can do it.
I will say this, and I said it last week. I need Cash and Mox in a singles match. They light each other up every time.
You want to know what this gives me vibes of? When Christian was going into his pay-per-view match with Omega. It's like they needed to give Christian, or they wanted to give Christian a win to make everybody believe, like, oh crap, okay, he pinned him once, he could do it again. You know, just for like wrestling kayfabe sake. So yeah, same exact vibes here.
Yep. After this, we had Lionheart, Chris Jericho, talking to Renee, talking about his match later with Atlantis Jr. They showed a video package of him and Atlantis Senior tagging and wrestling back in the day in CMLL. But he was going to wrestle his son tonight, Atlantis Jr., which I was not familiar with. I've heard of the Atlantis before, but I wasn't familiar with Junior. I was familiar with Senior, but not Junior. And and there's going to be a couple guys on Rampage and Collision that I'm not familiar with from CMLL, which I'm excited about. I'm not fucking typing who on goddamn on Twitter posts. I'm excited to learn about new talent that I haven't seen.
Hell, they fucking gave us a backstory today, so the motherfuckers.
Because today, I'm saying because when I do that, I'm not trying to, like, if I don't know who these guys are, I mean, I might become a fan of these guys. Can you believe that? If I don't know who they are and I like them, I might become a fan of them and their work. Can you believe this? I didn't know that was possible thing to do. Like watching somebody new and then becoming a fan of their work because I saw them for the first time. I very, 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 very. I mean, I should be a fucking actor on Straight Outta Compton. I mean, Jesus Christ Almighty. I really, I love Ice Cube. Anyway, after this we had
bastard.
We had.
Oh, Mike doesn't get it. Mike doesn't get it.
I don't fucking use Twitter like a smart.
Does he know?
A smart guy, which he actually, listen, I
send something in the chat. What the fuck happened?
Nothing. It's fucking Ice Cube's son.
Yeah,
is a very, very big wrestling fan.
He went on Chris Van Fleet's.
But he tweets like one of the WWE bot accounts. Like that, like he has those type of takes. Like, you know, WWE Gareth, or like these fucking like these fucking retards on Twitter that just like WWE.
That's not narrowing it down.
Okay. Well, he's one of them. He's one of them. That's it. That's really all you need to know. He's fucking stupid. And it's like he needs they're one of them. If they see somebody new, they're like who instead of going to Google or like trying to learn who the fucking guy is.
Because they wanted
really to. I'm not getting all this shit. I'm not going over all this shit. I'm gonna get fucking agitated, and I gotta fucking play Final Fantasy in a fucking T-minus an hour and 7 minutes. But anyway, after this we had Will Ospreay finally finished with all his New Japan and Rev Pro obligations. Finally, All Elite. He's full time. Here comes Will Ospreay. He just came back from
being All Elite, gets his luggage like lost.
Yeah, well, that's
Figures,
right? I mean, he's got to pay his dues. But anyway,
that's his hazing.
Yeah, I mean,
it was the Bucks.
It probably was, to be honest. Actually, well, Don Callis said he was going to go pick him up from London. Meanwhile, this guy was in fucking Barbados. So I don't know who the fuck he was picking up.
It was supposed to be a private jet too. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, this guy was in Barbados, brother. But anyway, Ospreay comes down. He's slapping hands with fans. He's all excited to be all elite. He's very excited. But here comes Callis and the Don Callis family, Takeshita and Hobbs and Joe. Sammy versus Hobbs on Collision was also fantastic. You should watch it.
I realized in Callis's like video or like the picture for his Tron still has Sammy in it too.
Yeah, that was a mistake because that got replaced with Kyle. So like he had the last time he was on there, like they had Callis come out, that Sammy was fucking, it was Kyle instead of Sammy. But
Okay.
I think they used the wrong one.
I saw. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Kyle's usually in that spot, but I think they just used the wrong one. But anyway, here comes Callis. He's dapping up. They're all dapping up each other, and then Callis can't even get a word out how much he's being booed. He's talking about, hey, this is gonna be great for the family. We're gonna become stronger because of this. And there was a little face-off between little friendly face-off between little friendly but not so friendly face-off between Takeshita and Will Ospreay.
This match is gonna.
I'll tell you right now, this is a fucking match of the year contender before it's even happened. I would be shocked. I mean, this is going to be unbelievable. And this is a smart thing for those AEW fans who don't watch. I mean, obviously, if you're an AEW fan, you've seen Ospreay before, with his matches with Orange Cassidy, which he mentioned, his matches with Jericho, his match with Omega. You've seen him before. But Tony is deliberately giving him a worker and a wrestler like Takeshita to the caliber of the guys he was working with. I mean, obviously Omega was, but the caliber he's worked with in New Japan for years now. Yeah. He's never wrestled Takeshita. However, he's the same caliber as a guy like Ibushi or Naito or Okada or Tanahashi back in the day, or Hiromu, or Shingo. He's in that same type of wavelength. So this is going to be very exciting. They're giving us hey, listen, you want to know who Ospreay is? Here he is, motherfucker. This is going to be the match of the night.
I think
I put my fucking life savings on that.
When we do predictions, we should do like an extra point predictions on what match has to follow that. Because that would be like,
yeah, that could be used as a tiebreaker, sure.
Like the tiebreaker, 2 extra points. Let's make it a lot more spicier.
I have a feeling I'm gonna lose this Sunday, but yeah.
I don't know where the title belt is somewhere in these boxes behind me. I don't know where the fuck in which box it is. I'm not digging it out.
Yeah, you'll find that eventually.
Yeah, I'll find it when I'm done moving.
Yeah. Anyway, after this, we had fucking Eddie Kingston in the back with Renee, about to cut a promo, but the Bucks came in and they said, hey,
come here to Tim's.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? We're gonna find you and we're gonna establish a dress code. Kingston's like, what's going on back here? He didn't even get to do his promo, he just walked off.
And then like and then Renee was like, I told you not to get the Tim's.
No, she said to go get the fucking Versace Timbs, or the fucking
Versace
the Versace Timbs, which I didn't even know existed. But anyway,
just get the blackout Timbs.
Maybe he should just continue wearing his fucking Timbs. How about that?
Nah, he has to get like a whole closet full of Timbs.
He should
brag about it.
He should wrestle in Timbs, to be honest.
That's what fucking like
Big Bill.
Yeah, Big Bill does.
But anyway, after this, we had an international title match between Orange Cassidy and Nick Wayne.
Fun match.
Yeah, this was very, very good. I mean, fucking Nick Wayne's in there working like he's 30-something years old at 18. This guy, I mean, oh my Lord have mercy. Send him for a New Japan tour when he's like a little bit older, and he's going to turn into the next Will Ospreay type guy. I mean, this kid, he's 18 fucking years old, and he's working in there like he's in his fucking 30s with his in-ring presence, his timing, everything he does in the ring. He looks like he's a fucking veteran. Yes, he's been doing this for a couple of years, but the kid's fucking 18.
He's a fucking prodigy.
He's a fucking kid. It's like, Jesus Christ, this kid he's already wrestled Ospreay, he's wrestled fucking Orange Cassidy, he's wrestled Darby, he's wrestled all these top fucking names already. And it's like, Jesus
He's
Christ,
wrestled some
great this
insane matches in GCW.
Yeah, this kid's gonna be such an unbelievable worker, and he's only 18. He's already that. So I mean, obviously he lost tonight. Christian, Mother Wayne, and Killswitch, they got thrown out halfway through. Bennett and Taven ran out. Rocky and Trent ran out. Orange laid him out with the orange punch. Retained. Roddy came in to beat him up, beat him down, and even set up the match even more.
I'm convinced Roddy's winning.
No, Roddy has to win.
I'm
Undisputed,
so
Undisputed
convinced.
Kingdom made something like that.
Undisputed Kingdom is on life support. They need a win.
True.
But anyway, after this we had the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
The shoe has to fucking drop. I'm getting so annoyed by this.
Why? Was never gonna happen this soon. We've been together for 3 weeks.
I know, but still, fuck it. Dude,
that's not how it works.
Do something on Rampage. Do something on fucking Collision.
No. Because if you do, listen, if you want to do an angle like this and make a group like this, you don't fucking do it and then drop it 3 weeks in. Fucking get 2 months out of it, and that's it. Give something. Listen, Jay White should not be doing shit like this, and I understand that, and he really shouldn't. I don't like Jay White being a part of this. However, when Juice comes back in a month or two, and if that's not over by then we could talk about something. But this shit's been going on for about 3 to 4 weeks now. The shoe's gonna drop after the pay-per-view because there's gonna be more stuff on the pay-per-view. Plus, they need something for Jay to do right now because there's nothing else for him to do right now. There's zero. What is he gonna do? What feud does he have? So would you rather have him doing nothing or doing at least doing this?
I'm trying to think of where he could fall in line.
Yeah, he could fall in line after the pay-per-view when feuds open up. Yeah. I think they're entertaining, but I don't think he should be doing this at all. I think if Juice was a part of this and Jay White was off doing his own thing, then we would be good.
Which probably was going to be the case up until
but up until his injury. But Jay, I mean, he does not need to be doing this for an extended period of time. It's gonna be. I mean, I think they know.
No, I think though that they should at least show some cracks in the pavement.
Well, they did on Collision.
Oh yeah.
I hate starting watching Collision. I get wrapped up in other shit.
They did on Collision.
Zach, it's okay. I watch Collision over the course of Monday and Tuesday most of the time now.
I watch it on time like a fucking actual viewer. Imagine.
Well, most of the time I'm not home, so.
Most of the time, I'm just fucking.
I hit that DVR and then I come home and I watch it at 3 a.m.
Most of the time, I'm just.
Yeah, see, I can't do that anymore.
But we've seen stuff like Jay White and Billy Gunn. They've been running into each other during matches. They've been off each other. They've been like kind of off their game. They've been not on the same page. Jay is deliberately making combinations that exclude Austin Gunn from tag team matches. He's been doing this even during when they were just Bullet Club Gold. So he's trying to break up a family while breaking up the Acclaim. He's trying to listen. He's a master manipulator. I could see through. I watched him do this shit for fucking years in New Japan. I see what he's doing. However, he needs to be out of this as soon as possible. But you cannot start this soon and then fucking drop it immediately. It just started. Just fucking do it. Just get it over with. Have him do something. Keep him on television. That's the best thing you could do. If he's not doing anything, that's not productive. At least he's doing something. At least his face and his night likeness is still on television. But he should not be dealing with this for the next at least this should be done by at least April. Or at least he should be out of this by at least April. But anyway, after this we had Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue, which this was a very good match. I really enjoyed this match. Very good stuff here from Statlander and Sky Blue. They were 1-1 in a series between the two. And that was broken tonight where Sky Blue picked up the victory because Stokely Hathaway's dumbass tried to give Statlander a chain and Statlander didn't use it. Julia ended up getting in the ring and hitting Statlander with the title belt. And Sky hit the code blue and pinned Statlander for the victory. And I really like the shot here. I don't think it was intentional, but Statlander was on the ropes, and Stokely was trying to give her the chain, and fucking Willow was trying to basically tell her, "Don't take it." So it was basically Statlander was in the middle, and Stokely was here, and Willow was here. It was basically the trope of the devil in the shoulder, and the angel on your shoulder telling you what to do. So that's really what this storyline is.
Oh, just to, I want to talk about this. You had a Stokely Hathaway moment.
Holy fucking shit!
What?
Xi Jinping is in the YouTube chat? No way, dude. Meow.
What?
Is my focus? Yo, let's go, bro. Is my social credit high, or am I gonna get executed? What's going on? Can you tell me, Winnie the Pooh?
Can we talk about how you had your Stokely moment?
No, we're not gonna talk about that.
That was so fucking funny.
No, that was fucking bullshit. That's what that was. That was fucking bullshit.
That was so hilarious. That made me fall over laughing because even before I read your caption, I was like, why does it kind of look like Stokely though?
Fucking 11-year-old girl hands me that, and I'm like, are you? Yeah, thanks.
Oh, that was great.
Thanks.
That was great.
I didn't even read it.
I'm like, thanks.
I lost it.
You look like that. I'm like, all right, yeah. Thanks.
Never skip leg day.
Never skip. Oh my god.
Fucking asshole.
I just needed to point out that the amazing line that Taz had during this match that was kind of quiet, but I picked up on it, and he said, and I quote, "I'm sitting and I'm still taller than him."
Yes, I mean, yeah, he ain't in the same boat as me or Tyler Bate.
That
Taz,
popped me.
son of a bitch. But anyway, this was very good. I don't know if it's gonna get added to the pay-per-view. We still have 0-hour matches that we need to locate. But
I think that All Star is more than likely a 0-hour.
that is not a 0-hour match.
Really?
Oh, no.
God.
Are you fucking crazy?
What's fucking
Jericho's on that in that match, bro. Wardlow's in that match. Hobbs is in that match. Fucking 0-hour. You crazy?
Then what? Like
They never announced the 0. They never announced the 0-hour before.
Yes, they have.
Well, no, I'm saying they never really announced the full one before until like the day before or the day of. They usually add something the day of. I wouldn't be surprised because Julia's hurt right now. She's dealing with an injury. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's no TBS title match on the show. But I would expect another women's match put on the show. Whether that be Statlander or somebody, maybe even Ruby Soho and Saraya, something like that, like a short, like a mini feud. Like I don't know, maybe.
I think if anything, it would be Ruby and Harley Cameron. I don't think Saraya would do the match. She would be like, I know I'm gonna, instead of me, you're gonna be fighting Harley Cameron.
Well, they have her brother now, so they could do Angela Parker and him.
Yeah.
But
Okay, gonna be honest, her brother looks like a fucking star in the making. He can be someone.
Well, that's before you've seen him work. So
Really? You see that
not
bad
bad.
in the ring?
No. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's. No, he's not bad in the ring. I've seen him a couple times.
But he has.
But
he has the look.
Well, you could say that about anybody. They have to. I mean, you have. I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, sure. Fucking. Listen, there's been a lot of guys in the business that look fucking cool. Doesn't mean shit. But we'll see. I mean, he's been working hard for years. Obviously, I've known about him for years. I've seen him on New Japan, strong shows in the UK. He's very, very good. He's very good. Zach Knight. So I'm very excited to see what he can do. But he is all elite. He's tier 0. That's why he's not like have a graphic or anything like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, after this we had the Young Bucks. They were looking for Sting. They're looking for this son of a.
Hey, we found the locker room.
You motherfucker.
What?
God damn it.
Oh, I hate that.
Shit.
Turn into a muscle
Anyway.
tee.
Yeah. Actually, I can do that now.
It's a lot easier to get the line work proper after you get a hole like that.
I said I am fucking.
I did that with my Kevin Owens shirt and my old Finn Balor shirt.
I'm fucking full stacking weights now at the gym. Now I can do that shit. I'm not even kidding. It's fucking pump a clock. Anyway, we had the Young Bucks. They went to the room. They broke into Sting's room, and what the fuck did they find? A bunch of bats hanging from the ceiling. And they were like, "What the fuck is this? Is this a trap or something?" Then they went. Then after this, we had the main event match of the evening. We had a main event segment, but we had a main event match between Lionheart, Chris Jericho, and Atlantis Jr. accompanied to the ring by Atlantis Sr. And this was a favor that Jericho, well, not a favor, but Jericho said he asked for this match against Atlantis Jr. because he was a good friend of Atlantis Sr. And this wasn't a bad match. I thought this was very good. Jericho came out with all his Lionheart shit, his music. And this was not a bad match. This is the first time I've ever seen Atlantis Jr. He looked good. He was a lot bigger than I thought he would be. And these two were not bad. I didn't think this was a bad match at all. Jericho put him in the walls of Jericho, and Atlantis Sr. threw in the towel for Atlantis Jr. And after the match, they all embraced, and it was a pretty nice moment. But yeah,
second ever towel throw in a match too.
Yeah. But
what
yeah,
was the first one again?
Cody and Jericho.
Cody.
That's right.
Which
Cody
set up the
Jericho.
MJF feud.
Yeah.
That's right.
But anyway, after this, we had the rundown of Rampage, and we have Claudio Castagnoli versus Rojito, which is another CMLL guy I've never seen, which I'm excited to learn about. Then we had Matt Sydal versus I think his name is Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus.
Magnus versus Matt Sydal to get into the fucking All-Star Scramble match. I think this is the first Scramble match they've ever done, because I mean I've seen a lot of Scramble matches in GCW, but yeah, yeah. So to get into that match, there's gonna be Sydal versus Magnus. I wouldn't be surprised if Magnus won that match just to get a little name in there. But yeah, and then to fill the last spot in that match, we're getting Dante Martin versus Brian Keith versus Penta to fill the last spot. But as it stands right now,
Yeah,
these
Collision.
the All-Star 8-man scramble, it consists of Chris Jericho, Powerhouse. This is also replacing Meat Madness, because Meat Madness was supposed to have a lot more guys in it, but the talent that they were supposed to have in it aren't medically cleared, so they're just doing an All-Star scramble.
I wonder who was supposed to be.
I mean, just thinking of it, maybe like Miro, Dutch, maybe Big Bill, Brody King, guys like
Keith
that.
Lee.
Keith Lee.
Yeah, where the heck is he?
He's still
He's
injured.
dealing with that injury.
Oh, still?
Remember, like he was supposed to be at the at World's End.
Toa Leona, maybe. I mean, there's the Butcher. There was a lot of guys that could have been in that Meat Madness match, but
I would have loved to know like what was going to be like. Was it going to be like a battle royal type, or was it going to be like?
It was just it was literally what this is literally probably what it was going to be. It was just going to be a scramble with a bunch of big guys, and just called Meat Madness. That's really probably what it was just going to be. Now it's just a regular ass scramble match. So now it's consistent.
If they want to get sponsors, call it Meat Mountain and get Arby's.
Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer versus Wardlow versus Hook versus Brian Cage, and versus versus the winner of Matt Sydal and Magnus, and versus the winner of Penta, Brian Keith, and Dante Martin. So we'll see. But yeah, that should be a kooky, fun match. But yeah, that was the only match confirmed for Revolution that we didn't know about tonight. So yeah, but after this, it was time for the main event segment, and we had a fun main event segment. We had the fucking Young Bucks, the EVPs come down. They were trying to get at Darby Allin, and Sting. I mean, they were trying to get at Sting, but then they saw a bunch of stingers in the front row thing. Like they were pointing the bats towards him, and then one stinger took off his mask, and it was Darby Allin. He jumps the barricade. He starts attacking the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are beating him down. But here comes Ric Flair, who you think was gonna turn on Sting at the pay-per-view, which is how he's been doing. Which is what he did in fucking WCW for his entire career. But no.
He pokes Nicholas in the eyes, punches Matthew in the face.
Yep. Yeah, you shouldn't be saying Nick.
Yeah, yep.
You're gonna get fined.
I said Nicholas, and I said Matt, but then I reversed it to Matthew.
He's still gonna find you.
You're gonna get us kicked off.
I can't. We're gonna get
copyright claim. We're gonna get copyright claim in a minute. But anyway, Darby.
So he said take our 102 subscribers.
They start beating down Ric Flair. They start beating down Darby, and then they come up to the front row because they come up to the stage because Sting's music starts playing, but they can't find Sting. But then we get WCW callback. Sting comes down from the zip line from the rafters. He comes down from the cable. This was fucking great. Hey, just like the old days in WCW, he came down. He starts attacking the Young Bucks. Him and Darby beat them down, run them off, and they go off the air with that just to build to the. That's probably gonna end up being the main event of that show.
Oh, it has to be.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I think it will be because Swerve's not gonna win the title.
If not, then co-main event.
Yeah,
if not, yeah.
I doubt it's not going to be the main. If Swerve's not winning, it's not going to be. That's if Swerve's not winning, the title match is going to go on second. But yeah, this was fantastic. I mean, obviously, every time you see one of those things, you get nervous because of tragic events.
Because with like the zip line stuff, what we had, I think, the first Stadium Stampede, you had the Inner Circle.
Well, that was
descend.
very different. Well, that was extremely different because the Jags do that every game with their fucking mascot. So,
and then that was you also had Darby with the zip line at Daly's place as well.
Yeah, that's different as well because that was the zip line. This is a cable dropping straight down from the rafters. This is very different.
Not landing in the ring, landing straight to the floor.
Yeah, obviously there's historical context why people would be a little nervous, and especially within this company with who they're affiliated with, why they would be a little nervous doing that. But they did it safely. They did it right. I saw this thing had a whole harness on. Obviously, they're not going to skimp out on after. I mean, they have
I think
they have an Owen Hart tournament for fuck's sake, and they're not going to skimp out on that. But yeah, they did it safely. It was a great callback. Sting's done it before, and it was cool to see this one last time on Sting's final Dynamite before he retires on Sunday.
Think he's going to do it on Sunday too?
No. Don't
Probably not.
No, don't bother. There's no reason to. They did it once. Don't do
last
that.
match, you never go above and beyond.
Last match, I'd rather have some grand entrance, like with history and stuff, instead of him doing that again. Don't tempt fate. Like, just don't do it. At his age, even though it's probably
jumping off of 15-foot balconies.
That's true, but let's
like onto concrete and tables.
I understand that, but it's his last match, bro. Let's just get through his last match safely, please. Let's just fucking get through this, please.
I mean, we all know he's jumping off a balcony.
Oh, he's absolutely jumping off something. Absolutely, he's jumping off something.
He's gonna get the tallest ladder, stack 5 tables. Matthew and Nick just in between.
He's gonna say, if I die today, I don't give a fuck. It's my last match. But like for real though, if you haven't read it, the Players Tribune posted something. Darby Allin wrote an entire article about Sting. It was really awesome read. Very short, but it's really awesome.
Also, keep in mind too, this is Darby's last full appearance until
he climbs Mount Everest.
Yep.
When does that start again?
Sometime in April. Which I think after Revolution he's gonna start kind of fully getting ready for it because he went through the training. I think now he's going to get ready for it after.
He has to go, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a write-off angle for Darby at Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I don't believe them to be winning, but this was a pretty good show. Great stuff from Sting at the end. I thought that was really cool. And
apparently, he cut a promo after the cameras went off. It's probably going to be on the YouTube channel for AEW sometime. Also, the countdown to Revolution is happening after Rampage. I'm happy that the countdown is back because they haven't had a countdown in a while.
Never left.
No, they usually do it after Collision.
I've never seen it because normally it appears on the YouTube channel. YouTube channel.
I'm pretty sure they always do it.
They always do it for pay-per-views. It's never. They always do it on TV the night before pay-per-view.
I'm thinking of Road 2s. That's what I'm thinking of, the Road 2.
Yeah, the Road to Revolution with RJ City.
Yeah, countdown. They always do it. But rest of the week.
Well, you can do. You can go first.
I can go first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give it to I'm gonna give it to Nick Nemeth, making a splash in New Japan, winning the global title, starting his New Japan career off hot. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Nick Nemeth.
I will give it to Sting, even though we're probably gonna give it. I think after Revolution, Sting's gonna end up in the Hall of Fame of the Wrestler of the Weeks for us after Revolution. So might as well give him his last send off for Wrestler of the Week.
And I will give mine to Taz purely for that Stokely
That's not
line.
a wrestler.
He's a retired wrestler.
This isn't commentator of the week, brother.
Fucking hate all of you.
Every fucking week with you, bro. It's not hard to pick a wrestler. It's either one wrestler. It's one wrestler. It's not two wrestlers. It's not fucking three wrestlers. It's not a faction. It's not a commentator. It's not a backstage personality. It's a fucking wrestler of the week. This is every goddamn week with you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, wrestler of the week. Let me pick wrestler. Yeah, actually, you know what? I rescind my wrestler of the week. Actually, my wrestler of the week is fucking Mickey Rourke from the wrestler. Fucking Mickey Rourke from the wrestler. Him. He's my wrestler of the week. Mickey Rourke.
Zac Efron.
Or Stephen Amell. Oh, yeah, you might as well. Zac Efron. My wrestler of the week. How about that, huh? Jesus
Mike
Christ.
is your wrestler of the week.
Fucking Christ. How about this? Ganondorf is my wrestler of the week. How about him?
Jesus
Christ. I literally... I get ridiculed on this show. Meanwhile, I pick somebody who is an actual wrestler. Okay.
He's not active.
The rules have always been active wrestlers.
Bro, what match did Taz wrestle that you have seen in the last, I don't know,
5 years?
3 months. 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. Oof.
None. His son wrestles.
Mike,
I hate all of you.
Mike,
I really do hate all of you. And I will just pick this guy.
Good.
I will just pick this guy.
Goodness gracious.
Bryan Danielson, just because.
Go. See?
Mike,
for no reason.
In
just
the history
because.
of this show, we have never picked a
Wait,
commentator.
no, I changed my mind. Malachi Black because he had a singles match for the first time in like 2 years.
All right. Now we're changing minds. Okay. All right. That's great.
All right, folks. We'll catch you all on Sunday.
Play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Are you going to join us Sunday, Christian? Or are you going to be...
Yes, I am going to join you Sunday because it's a fucking pay-per-view, and these motherfuckers should have put this pay-per-view on last week because I need to say...
I'm glad they didn't. I'm sorry, I was in Atlantic City.
Excuse me, I have to save the world from Sephiroth.
All right, folks. We'll catch you all on Sunday for the pay-per-view. Pre-show for us, 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
EST.
that's well. They've been doing they've been doing the pre-shows at 6 every now, so we'll see.
Well, no, it's at 7 because pay-per-view starts at 8.
They've been doing 2-hour pre-shows.
Yeah, they've been starting.
We didn't. You don't remember.
Earlier.
No, but you don't remember because
they've usually been starting at late as 6:30.
No, see, but the matches don't start until 7 because you count for the 0 hour.
Well, yeah, that's that's the usual.
Wrestle Dream, they didn't do that. We'll see. How about this? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how the pre-show is looking. All right, folks. We'll see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.